Welcome to this week's Foam Drawing Friday. First of all, let me just say thank you to the 100 subscribers who are now currently subscribing to my channel. I'm really pleased that 100 people are interested in foam drawing and willing to follow this channel. Let's get on to this week's exercise. Today I'm going to show you a bind and release, which I think of as the hill and valley. So we start off with drawing a bind, and then a hill, and then a valley. A bind and a hill, and a bind and a valley, a bind, and into a hill. So that's the first line that you should be drawing, and it's actually not as easy as it may look at first glance, because you're drawing your bind kind of both facing forward and coming backwards as well. So we're starting off by drawing the line in that direction from left to right, and then once you feel you've kind of mastered this and it's looking harmonious, then you should be drawing the line in the reverse direction. So when we're drawing the line in the reverse direction, it looks like this. Bind, so here we're working with the bind, and you're going into a valley and bind, and into the hill, and then into our bind, and into a valley, into our bind, into the hill, and into our bind, and into a hill, into a valley. So here we're reversing the direction. Here we're going in the direction from left to right. And it is important to practice both going from left to right and going from right to left. And once I would say this is quite a difficult line to draw. So initially I would suggest that you draw the line so that it just looks beautiful, and focus on drawing it, getting the proportions right. That means getting the hills roughly the same height and getting the valleys roughly the same height, and for your binds to be roughly in line with the tops of the hills and bottoms of the valleys. So here you could easily do your help lines as well. If you're finding it's difficult to kind of stay within the band, or maybe you need to extend some of it a bit more, or just keeping it in line, it's easier with your help lines. Once you've done that, then I would suggest that you start working on your rhythm. And in order to work on your rhythm, you would go and we've worked with the rhythm previously. So I would try and encourage you to try and see if you can feel the rhythm when you're going in to draw your band. So simply go over your line again and again and try and feel the rhythm. So speed up, slow down, speed up, slow down, speed up, slow down, speed up, slow down, speed up, slow down. So you should feel your rhythm both when you're going in one direction and in the other. So both from left to right, and from right to left. So here you go slow, and then you speed up, slow down, speed up, slow down, speed up, and slow down, speed up, slow down, speed up, slow down. So try and see if you can feel your way into the rhythm instead of kind of thinking the rhythm. And once you've mastered this, I would then suggest that you do your intersecting line. And I'm going to show you with the blue crayon what that would look like. We'll start with the blue crayon for going from left to right. And then once you've done your blue crayon, I'm just going to show you with the red crayon what it would then look like coming in from the right to the left. That's the intersecting line. So basically what happens here, which is what I hope you can see, is that when we work with the blue line, every time we have a hill, when the blue line is a hill, the intersecting red line creates a valley. And vice versa, when the blue line creates a valley, every time it creates a valley, the intersecting red line creates a hill. So it's effectively mirrored. This is a very difficult line to draw, especially when you have to start moving back the way, intersecting your first line, the blue line, with the red line going back the way. It is hard and it takes a lot of practice. And basically your lines are also going to be difficult depending on how you draw your first line, whether you draw tightly or loosely with your lines. And I'll give you a quick example of what I mean by that. So if you draw a tight drawer and you're quite, like I've maybe shown you if you've seen some of the previous videos as well, you'll know what I mean. So here your line is quite tight, as opposed to if you're the type who's more loose when you're drawing. It'll make a big difference to what your band will end up looking like. And so I'll show you what it would look like. If you're drawing tightly. Basically, this part here, this rounded part, becomes quite oblong. It's almost like an oval here. It's even more pronounced here. So the tighter you are with your hills, the more steep your hills are, the more oblong your shape is going to get. Whereas if you're drawing your hills more rounded and loose, then your intersecting line is also going to be much more loose, and your shape here is going to be, in fact, it's going to be kind of slightly oblong in the other direction. So as you can see here, sort of oblong. What you want is really, see, as you can see, my line tends to be slightly tighter than looser, and that means that the shape here is kind of tending towards the oblong rather than the kind of going up the way rather than on the side. So what you want is you want a nice round curve when you're practicing this line. And next week, in order for this not to become much too long a video, I will show you how you can work with this simply to create a shorter band, and then how we can extend the band. I will show you that next week so that the video doesn't become too long. I hope you've enjoyed this week's form drawing exercise, and I'll see you next week with the next part of this exercise.